Hello, neighbor. Welcome to the fourth installment of me making a character from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Now, as you can see, I'm in a bit of a predicament today. My camera display is upside down. That's because I was careless and I let Lady Elaine Fairchilde touch my iPad and she changed the way in which the camera displays. So now I have to go find her so she can change it back. Now, Lady Elaine, are you willing to change this back for me so I'm no longer upside down? Thank you. That is much better. So let's talk about Lady Elaine now, shall we? What I've noticed as I'm making more of these puppets is that the bodies aren't all the same length. Like, I know I'm not using the same size yarn, and that will affect gauge, but the body of Elaine is a lot longer than some of the puppets I've made previously. So it fits better on my longer fingers, while with like Daniel Striped Tiger and Grand Père, I would say that they fit better on like my thumb or the shorter fingers. Elaine fits quite comfortably on my middle finger. She also fits comfortably on my pointer finger. But we'll stick with that. And I would say, like, I've gotten used to how this book writes the patterns now, so it's a little bit easier for me to follow. Though I do kind of regret the red yarn that I chose, because this yarn I've had for a while, and I don't know if you can see here. Yeah, you can kind of see it. There are parts of this yarn that are inexplicably broken. It's like, it's not like when I was like making it, I like used a bunch of scissors to cut it apart. That's not how it's happened. I wouldn't be that careless, but you can see there are like parts like that where they're just wrapped around. So there's a lot of cutting and like forming knots and whatnot, because I just didn't want those knots in my work. But also, like, I found a bunch of knots that I did at a younger version when I had a different solution to dealing with when I thought I had to put up with knots instead of just weaving them into the puppet. So she does have a couple knots in her, the Mischief Maker, but I was able to weave most of them in, or the ones I weren't able to weave in, I was able to put in a position where they are not visible, which is good. And I'm glad the scratchy wool is on the outside and the softer yarn is on the inside. Which, I mean, giving her wool kind of makes sense. I don't feel this is the right type of brown for her hair, but I was too lazy to go find the proper brown, so there we go. And they're nice little details, like the collar was a nice little detail, the picot trimming for her hair, because like she had that crazy type of hair, that's a nice little detail. They did want me to use safety eyes that didn't have the iris on it for her eyes, but I distinctly remember Lady Elaine Fairchilde having eyes with distinct pupils in them, so I just chose a set of eyes that I thought would look good. And that's kind of the joy of choosing patterns like this. Yeah, it's like, you can follow the pattern as much as you want, but ultimately you're going to put your own little spin on it because you're the one making it. And honestly, Lady Elaine Fairchilde is not the most straight-laced of characters, is she? Not when she likes turning things upside down. Yeah. So far, I have been pleasantly pleased with how these puppets have been turning out. Even though I feel her head is incredibly top-heavy still. And I don't think it's just my stuffing. I know I'm a bit of an overstuffer. But even so, it's a lot. It gives her like this bobblehead effect. But it's like, I definitely need like my longer fingers in her. Not an innuendo. In order to help support her head. This puppet's actually causing a little bit more strain on my wrist trying to support her. In order to make sure that, although it does mean that if I do have my like middle finger inside of it like I do now, I do have like the other two fingers to kind of control her arms, which is kind of cute. Provided I stay on the right side. Yeah. But yeah, that was today's entertainment. Have a nice day.